No kissing? It's too intimate. And this isn't about intimacy. I don't like you.
For heaven's sake, can we at least?
The good part. I don't like you either. But you better freaking believe my mouth is about to get real freaking intimate with your pussy. Bam. Cold open. How's that for grabbing M?
By the sensibilities, perhaps. Welcome to Heart Book Radio, the show where literature occasionally survives the discussion.
Today we're diving face, first into Shaken by Bella Matthews, which is apparently about a woman who hates a guy so much she immediately moves next door and starts a highly specific friends with weird benefits arrangement.
That is a reductive, yet not entirely inaccurate, summary. It's the second book in the Defiant Kings series, focusing on Dr. Wren Davenport and Sawyer Kingston. There's a complex history involving a misunderstanding.
Oh, here we go. Complex history. She hated his guts for 10 years because she thought he did something bad to her sister. But surprise, it was the sister's fault, and apparently everyone knew but her. Her family, the guy she hates, probably the mailmen. It's less complex history and more collective gaslighting leading to kinky times. This is already better than that whale book you made us do.
It was Moby Dick, a cornerstone of American literature, not that whale book. And you spent the entire segment arguing whether Ahab needed therapy or just a better harpoon.
He needed both. Anyway, Wren. Dr. Smarty Pants moves back home, right next door to the guy she's mentally burned in effigy for a decade. And what happens? Does she key his car? Does she put sugar in his gas tank? No. She gets into, what did the reviews call it? Breath play? Hand necklaces?
Let's dissect Wren's character for a moment. She's presented as intelligent, driven, a successful doctor, yet she clings to this decade-old grudge with the tenacity of a barnacle, even after learning the truth. One reviewer called her infuriatingly immature.
Immature? She's a walking, talking red flag? Imagine meeting her at a party. Hi, I'm Wren. I spent my 20s hating a guy based on zero facts, and now that I know I was wrong, I'm still mad, but also sleeping with him. Past the questionable dip. She blames her mom for suggesting work-life balance. The audacity. My neighbor Carol held a grudge against me for 3 weeks because she thought I borrowed her garden gnome. Turns out raccoons took it. Carol apologized. Wren needs to take notes from Carol.
While Wren's protracted animosity is questionable, Sawyer isn't entirely blameless. He knew the truth, yet allowed her misconception to fester, though, arguably, revealing the sister's culpability wasn't his place. He's the archetypal billionaire, romance, hero, cocky exterior, secretly patient, owns the hottest bar. It writes itself, doesn't it?
Writes itself straight into my maybe pile. Okay, he sounds a little cliché, but deliciously dark or edgy. Commanding. Knows how to push her buttons. And he has a bulldog named Zeus who keeps escaping into her yard. That's adorable. I bet Zeus is the real brains behind this operation. He's probably whispering sweet nothings about safe words into Sawyer's ear.
I highly doubt the dog is coaching him on BDSM techniques. But the Kingston family dynamic, 9 siblings, constantly interfering, group texts, does add a layer of chaotic energy, like a reality show constantly interrupting the main plot.
Yes, bring on the nosy siblings walking in at the worst possible moments. That's comedy gold. But okay, is this book actually good? Or is it just hot garbage? Emphasis on the hot.
The central premise requires a suspension of disbelief, roughly equivalent to accepting that gravity is merely a suggestion. The idea that no one, not her parents, not her friends, presumably not even a stray carrier pigeon, corrected her fundamental misunderstanding for 10 years is, well, it's a plot device, isn't it? A rather flimsy one.
Flimsy? Who cares? It's the excuse. It's the engine driving us to the spicy bits. You need the flimsy excuse to get to the, hand necklaces. Seriously, what are those? Are they like woven out of his actual hands? Because that's horrifying, or is it some kinky code? We got a listener email, fake listener, obviously because we have no callers. Thanks management asking, and I quote, are the hand necklaces literal jewelry made of hands? Or is it like holding hands really intensely?
I refuse to speculate further on accessory-based erotic practices. However, the reader reactions are fascinatingly polarized. 1 5-star review calls Sawyer the perfect book boyfriend and praises the smoking hot spice, mentioning something about dandelions that I dare not investigate.
Dandelions. See? First hand necklaces, now weeds. What is happening in this book? Is he making her eat them? Is it like that scene in Nevermind? But then you get the 1-star rants. This one says, and I quote, Ren is an illogical, immature brat who made me want to throw my Kindle across the room. Hating him for years based on lies. Fine. Staying mad after the truth? Girl, get therapy. See? Even the haters agree with me.
It does seem. Ren's post-revelation attitude is a major sticking point. I found myself agreeing with the critique that the emotional transition felt abrupt, from mortal enemy to intimate partner, with specific, negotiated rules like no kissing.
Which he immediately breaks, because, hello, sexual tension, okay? Fine. Ren is annoying, deeply annoying. But the spice, the forbiddenness, the sheer ridiculousness of hating someone you're actively, dandelioning with, it's compelling. Like watching a car crash made of pure hormones.
If Ren were a sandwich, she'd be something unnecessarily complicated, like a deconstructed artisanal BLT on gluten, free charcoal bread, where the bacon refuses to admit it's bacon.
What? No. She'd be one of those super spicy ghost pepper jerky sticks that you know is a bad idea. But you just can't stop chewing on it. See, my analogies are better.
We are clearly not going to agree. Time for the official Heart book. Radio rating.
Okay, this book was a ride. Ren made me want to scream. But Sawyer, and the bulldog, and the sheer audacity, I give Shaken 7 out of 10 mysterious garden implements used for questionable purposes.
High praise indeed. I, on the other hand, found the plot mechanics offensively convenient and the central heroine deeply trying. However, the dog was charming. I give it 3 out of 9 meddling siblings who should learn to knock.
So you hated it but gave it a 3? Make up your mind.
My rating system reflects nuance, something you wouldn't understand.
Next week, folks, we're tackling a real mind bender. The existential dread of Gary the Sentient Mailbox. Apparently, it's a thriller.
Until then, try to read something slightly more plausible.